Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for dropping by this video. To anyone who's new, a warm welcome to this channel. This channel is dedicated to making very clear the difference between non-duality, Advaita Vedanta, and Neo-Advaita, fake, modernized, watered down, dangerous. It's not even non-duality. It borrows the language of non-duality. It's quite dangerous, actually. How dangerous is it? Well, most people, when they hear it's dangerous, they can't believe it. How could a spiritual teaching be dangerous? Or they still think that what they've been taught is non-duality, when actually, again, it's not. It's an insane philosophy that borrows some of the language and borrows some of the concepts. So I'd like to read a letter from someone who reached out to me about their experience of Neo-Advaita. Stumbled across your YouTube channel, and boy, you're the only person I found who talks openly about the experiences I have as well. That's one of the things, Neo-Advaita is literally like a religion and a cult, and no one's willing to talk about it. And I'm happy to be part of, not no one, but there's a lot of silence and hush-hush. Last November, the non-dual shift happened after a long journey of seeking for 25 years, and it crushed my whole beingness and life. Totally demoralized, lots of suicidal thoughts. Nothing makes sense anymore. No purpose, no nothing. I don't even care if I live or die. On top of that, I'm a recovering porn junkie of many years. The person said, I don't even have money to pay my rent or food. A really bad situation right now. Without my landlord, I would be done. The good news is this person then says they have recently found a job. I have been in this stage for several months now, and I honestly don't know what to do. The quote awakened people say, don't worry, it's just a phase. Yeah, easy for them. But I know people who are stuck in that for years or even killed themselves. And welcome to Neo-Advaita land. I've been doing this channel for, oh my gosh, I'll have to look when the first video is. I think 3 years now. And I can't say I get letters like this every day, but this is nothing new. I've heard many different nuances of how Neo-Advaita harms people, or sometimes takes them to the absolute bottom of life. And there's no judgment of this person. This person is someone who it took way down, and there's no judgment because it took me way down. I am alive by grace. Neo-Advaita has taken me to the brink of suicide over and over. I struggle. I won't say I struggle every day, but to live life, it's not easy for me. Like this person, there's a part of me, I'm happy to say today and yesterday, it isn't the predominant part, doesn't care about anything. And so this person said Neo-Advaita wreck their beingness and life. That's what it'll do. That's what it'll do. Sometimes it's not fun. I've given myself this job to educate people about it. But part of why I do it is because it keeps me sane, right? Because Neo-Advaita is addictive, and it constantly calls. Because with Neo-Advaita, it's like, who cares about life? Who cares about whether I live or die? Like, it's on a certain level, it's easier. I would say deceptively easier, as this person's letter points out. But it's so much easier to not care about life, to not have feelings, to not deal with relationships. Oh my God. I don't even mean romantic relationships. I mean like relating to people. It's messy. It's painful. It's complex. It's gut-wrenching. But as this letter points out, as my own experience points out, we can't escape our humanity. Freedom, Neo-Advaita teaches that you can just completely transcend your humanity. In some ways, destroy your humanity. It's an outright lie. It's an absolute lie. Actual non-duality, actual Advaita Vedanta is the art of integrating your humanity and not being bound by your humanity. Most people, their humanity, by humanity, I mean thoughts, feelings, desires, personality, runs the show. And generally, it doesn't do a good job. I mean, we can just look at the state of the world. But Neo-Advaita takes it to the other extreme and tries to destroy humanity, and it doesn't work. That's why you have so many sex and money scandals with Neo-Advaita, because it doesn't destroy, it suppresses, and then that energy comes out in sideways, messy, yucky ways. I mean, the most popular Neo-Advaita teacher on the planet, I have a direct connection with someone, not who was sexually abused by this person, but this person's close friend was. So you could say I have a secondary connection. And this is millions, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions, look to this person as a teacher. And this teacher seduced and slept with a young woman, a young vulnerable woman who was coming to him for spiritual help. And this woman afterwards felt awful, felt abused, felt taken care of. And this teacher was in a committed relationship at the time. And this woman, I'm sure there's probably at this point, who can even say how many? I'm sure she's one of just hundreds, if not one of 1,000. This teacher has quite the reputation. And so this teacher teaches, like Neo-Advaita, there is no personality. There are no desires. Well, no. And actually this teacher also is engaging in a behavior that's harming their health, and they just can't stop. You can't get rid of desire. It's stronger than you. It's stronger than all of us. In Hinduism, desire is an aspect of God. Not going to hear any Neo-Advaita teacher share that. You can refine desire. You can redirect desire. But you suppress desire, you're going to get your ass kicked. Or it's going to come out in yucky side ways. So I'm excited. I'm going to get a chance to, I hope, it looks like I'm going to get a chance to work with this person. And he's not the only one. I went so far down the hole. I don't know how I'm still alive. And I know other people like that. And there is hope and there is healing. I can only share what helped me. What helped me was, first of all, to learn the difference between Neo-Advaita and Advaita Vedanta. They are night and day. And then to reject Neo-Advaita, and then to pursue, and then to begin the recovery process. You can't really recover from something, an addiction. It's an addiction. Neo-Advaita is an addiction, and you can't recover from it while you're still doing it. Like, you might have slips every now and then, but if you're actively doing an addiction, you can't heal from it. You can't get your life back together. So once you've turned your back on Neo-Advaita, then starts the process of finding a healthy spiritual path and learning how to live again, because Neo-Advaita will take away your ability and your desire to live. I worked with a person who they were a parent, not only were they losing interest in their life, they were starting to not care about their kid. They had a child. When they reached out to me, they were literally like, I'm starting to not care about my kid anymore. And luckily, he hadn't gone too far down. It was very easy for him to what I do is I just tell people what Advaita Vedanta is, and I point out the errors in Neo-Advaita, and then they're able to see. And that's what this channel has been about. And many of you have told me it's been helpful, and I'm so grateful. And so no matter how far down the hole you went, because I went so far down, I can't even tell you. It's absolutely possible, because all Neo-Advaita is a set of lies. Lies are powerful, but they're not all powerful. So if you feel like I maybe could be of help. And so I'm starting to put myself out there and do coaching to help people recover from this. And it feels kind of awkward, because it was never my intention when I started this channel to turn it into a business. And I'm just trying to find an ethical way to put my gifts to use. So I put a link to my website. If you feel that I could maybe help you, please reach out and we'll have a conversation. I don't turn people away for lack of money, and I have a sliding scale that I'm sure most people could afford. And if not, I'm still willing to work with anyone who's earnest. And my goal is to get you to the point where you don't need me as quickly as possible. So thank you so much for dropping by, everyone. Hi to my live viewer. And thank you so much to the person who sent this letter. I have their permission to read it. So, and if you do send letters, please let me know if it's okay if I read it. I don't put in any identifying information. I left out this person's name and where they're from, and so forth and so on. Hey, Grump. I was just about to wrap up, but anything you want to share real quick? Beautiful. Thank you so much for saying hi. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Take care.